Guys, we have textures, sprites, art for the game. We finally managed to make something that, you know, resembles a game with the texture. And, you know, with my, you know, artistic skills, this was almost an impossible job, but we kind of almost managed to do that. So I'm very happy with what we have on the screen right now. I'm gonna explain a little bit about the artistic style that we are going for right now in the game and how this is gonna work out. But as you can see, everything up here on the screen right now was made by yours truly, and the planet was made by me, the moon was made by me, the camping trailer was made by me. You might be thinking, like, what is camping trailer doing in the space? And I'm gonna explain to you why there is space. You know, space station, big move, made by me, and the spaceship was actually a copy. I'm gonna show you where it's a copy from, so it's not gonna stay like this, but you know, the spaceship up here, sorry about that. The spaceship up here is a copy of another game, and that's the game that I have actually been copying the art style from. I haven't been copying the, you know, assets, I copying the art style. Just like, you know, you see somebody making a pixel game, you copy the, you know, pixel style, and I'm copying this style over here, and I think it's very easy. So the reason I'm actually going for this is because this is actually something that I can actually do. Usually, you know, I've been watching a lot of, you know, art styles, and most of the stuff I cannot make. I've been looking at AI, I've been looking at different kind of things. Most of the stuff I cannot make. You know, I tried, you know, drawing, you know, with vector shapes. I've tried, you know, drawing a little bit differently with brushes and stuff like that, you know, but I'm just not that creative or artistic. You know, I haven't been drawing, you know, in forever. You know, my drawing skills are, you know, stick figures. That's my level of drawing skill. So, you know, being able to create something that resembles something from a game is, I'm super thrilled, guys. I don't think you understand. I'm super thrilled because this over here, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 5 assets over here on the screen is telling me that I can make literally anything, you know, for the game. So any kind of asset that we need, you know, whether that's a spaceship, a space station, an asteroid, a camping trailer, a car, you know, a store, anything, you know, wormhole, you know, it will be doable, it will be madeable. So, you know, I'm very excited about it because that was a big problem for me. You know, I'm not really artistic, you know, I cannot draw, so I was looking, you know, some auto generation, buying some assets, but, you know, nothing actually worked and nothing actually fitted because you need to, you know, generate certain stuff in the game. But this actually works out. This actually works out very very nicely, so we can generate everything. Now you might be wondering what the camping trailer up here is for, and that's because if you look at a space, any kind of space game, they're quite boring. You got asteroids, you got planets, you got moons, you got you know, comets, you got maybe some wormholes, you got, you know, quasars or whatever it's called, you know, but there is limited amount of things in space. So, you know, putting up a camping trailer in space makes it a lot more interesting. That said, it's not gonna be a realistic game, of course, and if you see my ship movement up here, it is a rigid body movement, and the ship actually can collide with the object and stuff like that, and it's working on the force that you are putting, you know, pressuring on the ship, so it's moving with the force. But I'm gonna change that to be a, you know, to be a more responsive to movement to the keyboard, so it will be a lot more fun to play. Because although it is nice to, you know, float in space and stuff like that, when you're making this kind of game, like cartoonistic game, it would be nice to have, you know, realism, you know, only cuts that far. Realism only cuts that far. So let me tell you where this game is actually from, and we're gonna start. It's actually from Space Chef. I actually saw this game a little while ago, and I think the art style in the game is especially nice. It's very very nice. So I love the, you know, art style of the game, and I wanted to make this art style, but, you know, I could not make it. So I was checking out how did they make the art style, you know, and you can see the game. It's very nice made. It's very nice made, and everything in the game is like these very simple, what are you gonna call it? Simple texture, simple images of certain stuff, but they kind of make it work out. So there is no, you don't have to be very precise. Like when you're making pixel art, you gotta be very precise. When you're making different, you gotta be, but you know, here, you know, you don't have to be that precise. Now they are, of course, the guy that actually made this, or people that actually made this, they have devoted their life to art, to, you know, drawing, the science of the creation of, you know, something creative and beautiful. And, you know, here I am, you know, coming, you know, in the last, you know, I don't know how many months, you know, trying to create something, trying to learn to draw. So I understand that oh, just wait a second up here, because this uploads. So I understand that my sprites and my textures are not actually as, you know, impressive as the game over here, but the way I see it, although they're not impressive right now because I just started, maybe in, you know, 6 months, 1 year's time, maybe in 2 years time, I don't know how long I'm gonna do this, you know, maybe, just maybe, I will improve so much that it will be a lot better than it is now. So if you consider that this is my first step towards the game, my first step towards textures, then the next step and the next step, when I actually figure out certain stuff like shadow, you can see up here they have really nice shadowing on the textures. And once I figure out the shadowing and stuff like that, like I think my sprites will and textures, just a second, my sprites and texture will look a lot better. So they don't look flat, but they look kind of flat, but you know, with more texture, with more shadows and stuff like that. Like shadows are super important, but I'm not really good with shadows. But I think with shadow and stuff like that, maybe even some, you know, effects on top of that from the game and lightning and stuff like that up here and on sides, I think it could look very, very nice, very, very nice. So I'm very excited about that. But let me show you what I was actually looking at. I was looking at, I don't know if you know, but there is on YouTube there is a channel called Kurzsagt, and they made these, you know, awesome animated shows about everything, literally, and explaining everything. But this art style that they are doing, it's so easy and so easy to recreate. This is made of vector graphics, and it's you know, it's very easy to make. So I tried to making this, but unfortunately I'm not that good with I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to, you know, be that precise to make it, and the colors are, you know, a little bit different. So I try to make, you know, planets. You know, planets are pretty easy, but you know, spatial are a little bit different, and it's you know, it could work for a game. It could definitely work for a game, and but I just didn't like it. But you know, I was watching this and I was thinking, like, let me try to create. So I even downloaded. I even downloaded a program called Inkscape. I actually downloaded like 3-4 you know, drawing programs, trying to figure out what I'm gonna, you know, what's easiest to make in, because to me it's not about, you know, what I want to make, it's more like what can I make, right? But I'm really happy that you know, I can actually make something like this up here, right? And the reason I actually wanted to, because this is called Space Chef, and the game goes, it's about, you know, a chef that goes in, you know, works in space and has to, you know, make food. So she goes to the planets, down on the planets, you know, picks up certain stuff, goes home, you know, and you know, prepares the food and stuff like that, and then goes to, you know, sell it. But they also, you know, in space you can actually, you know, fly around. You can see these asteroids. I tried recreating the asteroids, but nope, not quite there yet. The shadowing on asteroids is, you know, way past my league right now. But you can see the ship up here, and right now you understand where I copied the ship. So the ship was the first thing I actually copied. I took the ship, I copied the ship, I tested if I can actually just copy the ship and, you know, make it look similar to what we have. And as you can see here, just a second, because for some reason this update's late, there we go. As you can see here, the ship is the same, give or take, the ship is the same, and you know, it works nice, I should probably put in a little bit more zoom in up here. Let me see if I can do it immediately right now. Put in the zoom. What is it up here? Up here, open this. I know you cannot see this, but you know, I'm actually working with the zoom stuff. There we go, 0.1. There we go, save that. Let's go up here. Nope, not this one. This one up here. And now we have to wait through the black screen until we get the screen up here. So you can see, we can zoom in a little bit more. and black screen. I'm sorry about the black screen. I don't know why Godot does that, because probably it's because full screen. I should probably turn it off. But you can see, I mean, it's not as beautiful as the other ship. I mean, you gotta understand. The people that made the other ship, right? The people that made the other ship, they have been, you know, drawing their entire life. Of course, their ship is gonna be better than my ship. So there is that, but you know, I got something, and the way I see it, if my first ship is looking, you know, this good, you know, my, you know, 10th try on that same ship is gonna look like 10 times better, or 2 times better. I don't know. We gotta wait to see. But it's really, and this game up here, they got a really nice, you know, nice environment and nice sprites for everything and textures. Like, I'm really, you know, and you see up here they also do my Astro Mine a little bit differently, but everything is made of these, you know, these small sprites, and I think that's great, so I like this a lot. And of course I've been looking at other things as well. Pixel art is really hard, because you gotta have really a lot, you know, patience to actually do this, because you know, you gotta put every single, you know, every single pixel in the place, and it has to be very nice and right. And you know, although I did make some pixel art and stuff like that, yeah, it just takes way too long time, and it's just not worth it. Because, and at the end of the day, it doesn't fit the game style that I want to make, and so forth. So we are not going for the pixel style. So I'm very glad that I, you know, took that off my list. And I'm very glad that I took this over my list, because although it is very easy technically to make, something is still missing, and it's not actually that easy. But you know, each to your. I was also looking at you know, AI creating spaceship and stuff like that, just scoping the spaceship and planets and stuff like that. Still, there's, you know, it's not a perfect way to get the assets, and even if you get these kind of assets, you still need to, you know, remodel them, you know, import them in Paint or Photoshop or whatever you're using, and you know, trace the lines and, you know, figure it out. And it's still not gonna be you know, everything that I want it to be. So you know, AI is out of the game. And then I've been looking at other stuff. You know, these are planets in the space, and you know, like over here you see super nice planets, and this will be insanely fun to, you know, play around with and, you know, fly to these kind of planets. But even these kind of planets are a little bit difficult to make, because there is just too much happening, and it's just too precise that, you know, if you're not very precise, then, you know, the planets don't look all that well. So that's why I like this kind of you know, art style. It doesn't have to be 100%, you know, lines are not 100% correct. Like, it's more about the feeling, but I need to get to this. You can see down here the shadow. I need to get shadow right. Like, shadow is very important. I don't know why. And you can see here they also got the, you know, certain stuff in space, which is very nice. You can go and fly to certain stuff in space up here. You know, where was the there was one image where it showed the chair, I think, in this video. Can you see the chair? You see here. But you know, the guys that are making this, you know, they're artists. You know, I'm not quite there yet, but maybe we can get something that looks close to, you know, close to something like this kind of art style. So as you can see here, and you know, I've been looking at a different kind of, you know, spaceship and stuff like that. So I'm gonna explain to you a little bit about, you know, how this is actually made, you know, for the special kind of guys. If you want to know how I actually make this this art, it's pretty basic. If you go search for Space Chef art or something like that, I think you will get this. I think it's. I think they have this video over here. You can, if you watch this video over here, you will see how they make it. First of all, you get a basic shape around whatever you're doing, right? Basic shape, like it doesn't have to be right. This is the good part, right? You get a basic shape, get all the small details on it, whatever you want to look at it, right? And once the basic shape is done, give or take, depends on what you're doing, you start, you know, making nicer lines over everything, right? And you already got, it doesn't have to be, you know, 100% correct and everything. You can see here he's messing up the shapes and creating everything, but it is a very, you know, intuitive process, and it goes pretty fast. So the thing that I made, you know, the camping trailer, the space station, it took me maybe an hour or two or something like that, you know, because I'm very slow. But this doesn't have to take very long time. This doesn't have to take very long time, which means that, you know, I can make a lot of stuff without actually using, you know, years and years of my life. Because if you make something that takes, you know, 1-2 days, like how many assets are you actually gonna make, right? But if you can make, you know, 2-3 assets, you know, per day or something like that, you can have a whole bunch of assets in your game, right? And I see here he's right now starting texturing, you know, giving it some kind of, you know, shading, different shading. That's the, you know, third step up here. Different shading and everything, and once he's done with all small you know, shading kind of stuff, you know, it kind of gets this big shading going on, little small details adding and stuff like that, changing those small details, giving it more shading. As you can see, shading is very important to get this very nice curvature and stuff like that. And I'm not really good at shading, but you know, it still goes. And as you can see, this resembles something very nice. I don't know what this is. What's this? Drawing a space park for a cooking game. So it's a space park. Okay, space park for the cooking game. And you can see here, it doesn't take that much effort to make something that looks decent. The hardest part is making, you know, curvatures and, you know, 3D space and stuff like that, I think. And of course, shading. I need to get the shading done. But if I can get the shading done, I think we'll be okay, guys. I think we will be okay if I can get the shading done. So I'm very excited about the game. I just want to, you know, show you that the textures are right now no problem. We're gonna be adding, you know, the planets, the moons, the asteroids. Asteroids are actually a problem because I'm generating asteroids. I'm not, so I'm probably gonna change the asteroids to sprites, and then just put the hitboxes around the sprites or something like that, make it a little more cartoonish and easy to play, because it doesn't have to be, you know, that complicated stuff either. But I need to, you know, draw asteroids, so there is that. So all in all, very happy about it. So this is a big progress for the game, because right now we can technically make anything we want to make. Like this this space station up here took me, I think it took me around 1 hour's time. But as you can see on the space station, there is not much, you know, shading. I need to get, shadows and shading. I need to work on that. But I think as soon as, you know, we get to that point, I think it's gonna be a lot better. And you know, the more I draw, the more assets I make, it's gonna be better and better and better. So it's gonna be looking, you know, very nicer. But the good thing is we don't have to, you know, look for any other assets outside of ourselves, and everything is made in Paint. Everything is made in Paint. Where is it? Up here. You can see everything is made in Paint up here. And this free software that you can get. If you know the game that's called Stardew Valley, he also used the, you know, Paint to make the assets. So right now I'm using Paint to make the assets. I have you know, Adobe stuff, and I have you know, 3-4 other, you know, drawing program, but I really like, you know, the Paint, and it is very easy. It is very easy. You can see up here I actually add the shadow up here behind it and stuff like that, and you know, very excited about it. Very excited about the game. Very excited about progress. Where is it? Very excited about progress. The black screen, I need to fix the black screen. There we go. So we got that. So the next step right now, I haven't actually been doing much program. I have been just, you know, taking time off, and I've been looking at, you know, how am I gonna do this. But I'm really excited right now because we actually managed to do something that's gonna help us, you know, move our game in the right direction. So we need to change the ship because we cannot steal assets from other games. So there is that. We can steal the art form, but we cannot steal the assets. So that's one thing. Even though if we copy the assets, it's almost 100% the same. We need to make new ships and stuff like that, right? We need to make new guns. We need to make stars and stuff like that, right? But this was a big thing. This was a big thing. We already got the asteroids, you know, shooting asteroids and stuff like that up there. I'm gonna show you up here in a second. It doesn't matter. We got shooting asteroids. We got collisions. We got explosions. We got all the juicy stuff. But right now, I think the game can actually progress into something more. So I'm very excited about it. Thanks for watching. You know what to do next time. You know, when you come back, watch a new video. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you around. I was just too excited, so I had to make a video about it. Okay, guys, I'll see you around. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.